Hi, everybody. I'm so excited. This is Christine from Mom Vegan Love, and today I have a very special guest. My husband, Tim, is here today, and he's going to show us how he makes this amazing breakfast that he makes for us every morning. And yeah, I'm just so happy for you guys to see it. So welcome. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Christine. When she introduced me, I thought she was talking about Elsa, who's our beagle, who's right here. She follows me around the kitchen all the time, pretty much everywhere. But if I'm in the kitchen, that means she's along for the ride. So I think I just took center stage here. Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
Take it away.
Yeah, Muesli, it sounds pretty boring, right? This stuff, I was doing a little research this morning because I'm a word geek, and the word is actually from like Swiss German, which I think I knew, but I didn't know that it meant like mush or like puree, which is kind of a nicer way to say it. But like the muesli, the li part is like the little diminutive, like, oh, cute little mush, which is kind of a funny word for this stuff. And all this, mixing, grains and nuts and fruit together sounds maybe like it's kind of boring, right? It was the antithesis of like cereal when I was growing up. I remember Kellogg's rolled out their muesli like with an X at the end of it, probably so they could trademark it. And it was something that I felt like was for old people, and here I am, and I can't get enough of the stuff. But I didn't really get into it until I started making it. I used to buy it at the store, which just seemed really dumb once I realized what was in it, because it was really easy to find these ingredients myself, and I could get all the good stuff with none of the bad, not to mention save a bunch of money in the process. So let's get started. I mean, it starts with oats. I think you can probably make it all kinds of ways, but we started with oats, a ton of them. I just buy this stuff in bulk. This is just rolled organic oats. I get I think the thick kind. They're chewier. I guess we like horses around here. The kids seem to like the thicker kind too. But this is a bunch. I'm gonna dump all this in a bowl.
All the old-fashioned oats, is that what you get?
I think they're just called, I don't know, organic rolled oats. There's nothing fancy about them. It's just a commodity. It's like $1.67 a pound, which is crazy because if you buy that stuff prepackaged, you're going to pay 3 or 4 times that just for somebody's name on the package. And a lot of times you're paying 2-3 times more for something that's not even organic. But this is like 2.5 pounds. If you want to measure it out by cup volume, it's probably like 12 cups in here, something like that. It's a ton. But as you can see, it's a good day to make muesli because that's all we have left. And I make 5 bowls of this every morning. The kids sometimes eat it for like an after school snack or like an extra little dinner thing sometimes if they want a snack late at night.
This is how we look like when it's all done.
Yeah, that's a good look. So yeah, this is the foundation, right? Ton of oats. We'll throw some flax seeds in here too. This is the like Flax Meal, basically ground flax seed already. Lots of fiber in here. There's a good amount of protein in here. There's omega-3s in here. I'm just sprinkling this on top, eyeballing it. This is probably, I added 3/4 of a cup, I guess. You could put a whole cup in if you want. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of this. It's like really rough on the measurements. You don't have to get precious about any of it. It's super easy. Hemp Seeds. We buy these in bulk too. Just these giant bags. They're pretty darn cheap on Amazon. It's cheaper even than Costco. And anyone who's like worried about hemp seeds or anything, look at that. They don't contain THC. You got to get that somewhere else if that's your thing. You're not going to get it from your hemp seeds.
This has a lot of protein, right?
All this stuff does. Yeah, even the oats have protein. Hemp seeds are loaded. I think it's like what, 10 grams of protein in just 3 tablespoons. So you can even sprinkle an extra tablespoon on top of your muesli if you're looking to add protein to your diet. I'm going to put a whole cup in there. That doesn't look like enough to me. So I like to pile this stuff on. I mean, it's basically free protein. It's just texture, and it kind of gets mixed up in here, and it's great for the kids. They eat every bite of this stuff. It's pretty easy. So yeah, speaking of more like protein and good fats, we're going to take some of these pumpkin seeds. Pepitas, as they're also known, I guess, if you're familiar with them through like Mexican food or Latin American food. Also, 4 grams of protein in a like what, a tablespoon of this stuff too. This stuff's all loaded. Same with sunflower seeds. 6 grams in, I guess 6 grams in a 1/4 cup. But this might get a little chewy, especially for little kids if you were to just put these things in whole. So I guess you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm This is a food processor. This is. I'm dumping, that's a cup. Sunflower seeds. Couple pumpkin seeds, more or less, might be a little more. Might be a little less, who's counting? Now it's gonna get loud. Ready? Give a couple pulses here just to make sure this stuff's nice and fine. I'm guessing once our kids are a little bit more grown up, I won't have to do this, but right now they won't like pull out a pumpkin seed and be like, what's in my breakfast, Dad? Although I don't think they mind, they've had enough. So that's about the consistency I go for here. It's not, you know, powder, but you know, we'll ground up pretty fine. I'm gonna add even more. So we're getting, as you can see, just a huge pile of good stuff in this gigantic bowl. This is pecans and walnuts, about 3/4 of a cup each. Again, more fat, more protein. When it's all said and done, if you take a bowl of this, which is, geez, a 1/4 cup of this muesli, you know, maybe even a little bit less. I mean, the kids eat about a 1/4 cup of it with their breakfast. So with all that, you add a little peanut butter to it. You add the milk to it that we make here. We just make, you know, cashew milk or like hemp milk at home. I'm guessing that those breakfasts probably have 20 grams of protein. Like my version of it probably has 30, maybe even more. I mean, it's loaded. It's a great way to start the day. A lot of times if I eat this breakfast, I can find myself at like 2 o'clock and shockingly like realize that I hadn't eaten since, you know, 6:30 a.m. This stuff's really sustaining, gives you a lot of good energy, and it's going to get loud again because here come these pecans and walnuts. If there were like a discotheque that played food processor sounds, Christine would show up. That's true. So that's it. I was looking about that consistency. This is getting good here. And that's the nice thing about this stuff. You don't have to rinse it in between. You can just use it a couple times in a row. This is key too. We like to use these dried blueberries. They're not organic, which kind of sucks, but all the organic ones I found have added sugar. These don't, which is awesome. We use cranberries sometimes, dried cherries, just raisins are totally fine too. If you want to get really weird, there's like those, you can put like goji berries. I don't know, is that even how you say it? Goji berries. There's those Peruvian berries too. Pichu berries, I think they're also called, those little golden berries. I love those suckers. What's these things, by the way? I top mine with this. They're super tart. Yeah, Pichu berries, but they call that. Golden berries, kind of a brand name thing. But these things are incredible. They look like raisins. But they're great on like, we'll even put these on like a vegan charcuterie board. Like if we make like seitan and like good like cashew cheese log stuff, we'll throw different kinds of dried berries, fresh berries on that big board. And these are awesome. They're awesome on the breakfast. I'm in the minority here at our house that likes those because they're nice and sour. But this is, you know, maybe a cup of these dried blueberries on top. That's really all you need. It spreads pretty evenly throughout this mix. Once we mix it up, it's weird. I've never like talked while I've made this stuff. So now I'm wondering if I forgot anything. Here's the mix part.
Add blueberries and the raspberries or raisins?
I don't. I just add one or the other. Okay. Typically, you could totally do both if you wanted to. It's funny. I always thought muesli meant mix because I don't know. My brain just works that way, and that's kind of what it is. But no, it's mush, which is even better. Yep, those Swiss Germans. They've got some poetry about their language and worldview, don't they? Anyway, mixing away. And look at this beautiful bowl right here. I don't think those blueberries are quite evenly distributed. I'm sure there's enough in there. There we go. That's it. This is an awesome breakfast. It's like the base for what we do. This is just kind of the beginning. So we'll have, massive amount of this stuff just sitting on the counter that'll last us a week and a half or so before we have to make a new batch. But then what we do is, just throw some of that stuff in a bowl. Like so. Took about a third of a cup there. This would be like my size. I need to go a little more even. And then we start having fun. Like we'll slice up an apple is where we usually start. It's kind of weird doing this just for one. I'm usually making 5 of these at a time. Can't see what I'm doing here, so maybe that's really boring to watch somebody slice an apple when all the actions.
Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat if there's anything that's coming up. Yeah, but that's a really good point. We usually make, it may seem like this will take a lot of time, but like Tim said, mix this once a week and then it's just ready to go. So same thing with the milk that we make, the cashew milk, that also lasts us for a couple of days. And I have a recipe for that on my Instagram.
Yeah, this is just a, what the heck, there it is. Just a bunch of chopped apple. Usually one good size apple is enough for 5 bowls, but I'm just chopping up a little bit to make one here. So you can see I'm just throwing a little bit on top like that. Add however much you want. We do cinnamon. You know what cinnamon looks like, right? Just sprinkle that on top of the apple because it's delicious. It's kind of like eating a giant cookie every day. It's super good for you. This part, not everyone in our family does this, which is beyond me. Yeah, I could really use a spoon if you don't mind. Peanut butter or almond butter on this stuff. I can't imagine eating this without because I think it's the best, but to each their own. But I'll put in a solid tablespoon or 2 of peanut butter here, just right on top of there because it's amazing. And then here I just got a few fresh berries that I washed earlier today. The strawberries I'll slice up, and we got blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Another cheat for this too, use frozen blueberries, use frozen raspberries. They are, especially if you can buy them, like Trader Joe's has frozen raspberries, organic ones for, I think like $3.50 a bag for like 16 ounces or 12 ounces or something. It's really not bad. We keep a bunch of those in the fridge and the kids will just pile that on top and they just love it. And I do too. It's a nice way to, sweeten up this breakfast without adding sugar to it. So that's what it looks like with strawberries on top of that peanut butter and apples and cinnamon. Berries, bowl of berries. Ever seen one of those before? Look at that, it's just going right on top like that. And sometimes we'll slice up like some mango on top of there too. Just whatever's fresh. You can get weird with it too. You can put pineapple on there. Pineapple and peanut butter is a weird combo, by the way. I think pineapple and peanut butter, they affect each other's flavor for some reason. But like papaya, like anything you got, anything that's fresh, you can just try to throw it in here. It's not going to hurt anything, right? It's just fruit.
Yeah, whatever you like.
And here is our kind of homemade cashew hemp milk, which we add a bunch of good stuff too. There's like reishi mushroom powder in here, little flax meal. This is where we also add a little vitamin B12 and vitamin D. That's just in liquid form. So we'll just add it to our blend. How easy this is. I can't believe I used to eat boxed cereal for 30 years of my life, especially the stuff I ate when I was a kid, especially knowing how easy it is to just make this stuff at home. What do you think? Dump it in our whole batch? Yeah, maybe. Can I hold it up for the camera? So that is kind of a bowl. It's not as beautiful as this one that has the mango in it, but I didn't want to chop up the mango for this. That can get messy. That's all I have to say about our daily mush here.
Want to say anything about the chia seeds?
Oh yeah, chia seeds. Again, if you want to add more protein, I just keep these handy. I sprinkle it on top of mine. It's if you've never had chia seeds before, they do something really interesting if you keep them in liquid for a while, like in milk or whatever. They will sort of absorb that moisture and get all like kind of gelatinous, like real jelly around it, and kind of it's weird. It's kind of good, but I mean, I just prefer the added texture, that little bit of crunch that comes with putting them right on top. So I eat it right away. If I were to do overnight oats, I'd skip the chia seeds personally and put it on in the morning.
I like it when they get soft like that. So
That's
the thing. It's kind of like we have a buffet every morning. Like we have 3 kids and everybody wants theirs just a little bit different. And it's so easy because everybody, actually sometimes I will have these bowls and I won't even have the muesli. I will just have a fruit bowl with cinnamon and the cashew milk. And that just satisfies me until, like Tim said, like 2 in the afternoon. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. But everybody's so different. And another thing I wanted to say too, that this is something that we've been eating now for years. So if your kids are anything like ours were, and making it sweeter in the beginning might be a good idea. Like we added maple syrup in the beginning to just get them to taste it, because like our kids don't really like trying new things. So we would add maybe a little bit of maple syrup or agave. But then as our like taste buds changed from going from this really sugary cereal to just appreciating how sweet the fruit is already, we have now gone away from that. But
yeah, not entirely. We'll throw a granola on there sometimes too.
That's true.
Which is good. That'll
sometimes
sweeten it up too.
Yeah.
But what's cool about this too is like when we've ever had like friends over for breakfast, like overnight or whatever, right? Kids that have never had this stuff before, they go to town on it. They love this stuff and they wonder where they can get it. It's like, well, I guess your folks can watch this video and make it at home now. But yeah, it's super easy. I'm glad we cracked the code on it a while ago, because breakfast was a huge, thing that I was trying to figure out how we would solve when we made this transition, 7 years ago. And this was a great way to just like take care of one meal pretty much every day. I mean, we'll mix it up and do fun, tofu breakfast sandwiches and, pancakes, waffles, whatever, like on weekends. But for our, school day, weekday, work day, breakfast, a lot of times on weekends, this is our go-to. Yeah. And it's seriously been a hit day after day, year after year, with no complaints. I mean, I do not get sick of this because of the variety. Mm-hmm. When I eat my last spoonful, it's like, dang it, I wish it was tomorrow morning, so I can start again. It's so good. But that's all I got, I guess. Yeah. Right? That's muesli.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. And let us know if you have any questions, and we're always happy to help.
Bye-bye.